The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Legendary Rivers event. It's a virtual presentation. My name is Neil Dudley. I am with AmaWaterways, but I'm going to hand it over to Joel and Michelle to do the intros of their store. But I just wanted to give you a couple of housekeeping tips before we get started. You will notice that you're all on listen-only mode. That's just to keep down any sort of background noise, but there is an opportunity to ask questions, so fear not. And of course, you will also be, there's a little question box that you'll see in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Feel free to type the questions in there at any stage, and we will do some Q&A at the end. So, but I am going to hand it over to Joel and Michelle, and I think Joel is going to do the intros on behalf of Expedia Cruises downtown Toronto. So, Joel, hello, how are you?
Thank you very much, Neil. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here today. We are going to be talking a little bit about the legendary rivers and with our premier partner, AmaWaterways. Just so Neil touched on a few of those a while ago, some little housekeeping items. Just if you're maybe having some technical issues, one of the quick things to do is perhaps disconnect, reconnect. Adjusting your views, there's a little button that you might be able to use. I'm not sure if it's this application, but you should be able to see the screen clearly. And of course, questions. If you have questions, there's a question box Neil just touched on. And of course, at the end, we'll have the floor open for Q&As. And we will also be sending the recording out once we are finished with this tomorrow, so you might see that link show up for that recording. Just a quick little bit about who we are. One of our market strategies is strictly about, you can click or you can call or you can come into the center. So many ways in which you can engage us. And being here in the Canary District and in the Quoichon area, we really love working with our clients as they come in. And we appreciate you coming in and saying hi from time to time. Who we are, or who are we? Expedia Cruises, downtown Toronto. That's our location. That's where we are. Michelle and I are the franchise partner for this particular location. And this center has been open since 2017. And what we do and what we love to do is to, establish retail cruise options within our community. And by that, I mean be able to offer that to our clients in and around the area as an expert of spectacular vacation. Ourselves, along with our consultants, do that and take that and pride ourselves on making sure that we are able to do that for our clients. We also want to be the trusted partner here for travel in the Toronto area, in this part of Toronto. And of course, we want our community to be, able to see us as that choice for this type of vacation, whether it be a cruise or whether it be a land vacation, whether it be a safari, whether it be tours, whether it be a custom travel engagement. We can certainly help you with that. And of course, we're a place where we like to come and have fun as we help you plan your vacation and your travels in and around this beautiful world of ours. And so without any further ado, I'll turn it back to Neil. Neil is our business development manager, partner with us, AmaWaterways, and we are delighted to have Neil present to us this evening. So Neil, please take it away.
Great. Thank you very much, Joel. So I'm just going to get myself set up here. Let me just go here. And folks, I will come back on camera at the end, but because Joel and Michelle are the face of Expedia Cruises downtown, those are the ones I want you to see, but hopefully you can all see my screen. Is that right? Joel, Michelle, you guys can see it? Perfect.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so folks, let us get this started here. There we go. So like I said, I'm very excited because this is part of Legendary Rivers. It actually kicks off officially today. This is a very big platform that Expedia Cruises does every single year, and we at AmaWaterways are thrilled to be the premier partner exclusive for the very first week. And as a result, that means there's some exclusive offers that you're only going to see this week, and I'm going to tell you all about that. But I'm going to start with telling you a bit about our company. We are a family-owned, operated company. 20 years this year, and our birthday will actually be on Canada Day. So that is our Canadian connection. Like I said, myself, I work for AmaWaterways. I work with all of the advisors here in Central and Eastern Canada. But we are a family-owned and operated company, and these are our owners. So you got Rudy and Christine. This is a husband and wife team from Germany and Austria, really bringing a lot of great in-depth knowledge to our main destination, of course, which is Europe. And the Murphys, originally from Ireland, moved over to the US. So we're an internationally owned and operated company, and this truly is reflected in the product itself. Now, a lot of times people will often ask me where the name AmaWaterways comes from. Well, when our owners decided to develop this very unique approach to river cruising 20 years ago, they really want to incorporate their true love and passion for river cruising in the company name. So if there's anybody out there tonight listening who speaks Latin, you'll actually know that ama means love in Latin. So it's able to show their forever love for the product of river cruising. And this is very important because, folks, we are the only river cruise line whose sole focus is to bring you the best luxury river cruise experience possible. We do not have an ocean cruising division to worry about. We do not have a coach touring division to worry about. Our sole focus is on the rivers around the world. And I do love to show this picture, of course, because if you've never river cruised before, there's a very good chance that you've ocean cruised. And there's a very interesting fact that 93% of people, once they take a cruise vacation, they continue to take another cruise vacation. So a lot of you have done the Mediterranean, you've done the Caribbean, you've done Alaska, and you started looking for your next evolution in your cruising experience, which is why river cruising has really taken off over the last 4 or 5 years. And I'd love to show this picture because it really does highlight a couple of major differences between us and our ocean cruising cousins. First of all, you are always within sight of land. There is always something to see day or night, and the entire continent of Europe was built around the rivers. This is how they survived. This is how the transportation happened for centuries. So it is lit up during the day and in the evening. And of course, as you can see, there's one of the ships down there in the bottom right, in the bottom center. We're a much smaller cruising experience. In fact, on an AmaWaterways ship, there's an average of 150 guests. So very intimate cruising environments. And as a result, we're able to dock in the hearts of every city and town that we stop in. And that is part of the pure joy of river cruising. Now, at AmaWaterways, we're a very innovative style company, so much so that Rudy down there in the bottom right-hand corner, he's not just one of our owners, but he's actually the architect and designer of every single one of our ships, meaning great hands-on knowledge. He knows exactly what is needed for our ships. And in our industry, he's actually referred to as the godfather of river cruising. Now, one of the issues that we sometimes have to deal with, and you might have heard of this, is that sometimes over on the rivers, water levels can be too high or too low. So Rudy, knowing all about this, designed his fleet of ships to have the shallowest draft of any river cruise line. We only need between 4 and 6 feet of water underneath us in order to be able to cruise. And oftentimes, it is just a matter of mere inches determining whether or not you are able to river cruise. So with AmaWaterways, you are in the best position to always get that beautiful luxury river cruise experience. Now, folks, I actually want to tell you about Rudy's past and how he actually fell in love with river cruising. It goes back to his very first river cruise experience. And I actually happen to have live footage of Rudy's very first experience. It goes all the way back to 1974 on the Amazon. This is actually what made Rudy fall in love with the world of river cruising. So here it is, folks, up close and in person. That is Rudy on the Amazon back in 1974. There he is. Now, folks, for those of you who've not been on AmaWaterways, fear not. We've come a long way since Rudy's very first experience. In fact, this is what the AmaWaterways experience looks like today. So that, folks, is just a little glimpse into what the AmaWaterways experience looks like today. And the great thing is that experience exists on each and every one of our ships. We've actually got a fleet of 25 ships on the various rivers around the world. And everything you saw in that video exists on each and every one of our ships, meaning that you're getting that exact same AmaWaterways experience no matter which ship you actually sail with us on, whether that's in Europe or one of our rivers around the world. But folks, I am going to highlight one ship just a bit different. This is the Ama Magna. She came out in 2019. It's the world's largest river cruise ship ever to be built. Now, yes, it has all the same great features you just saw in that video. It just has a few more of them. And this ship has been built for any of you who've maybe taken a beautiful luxury boutique ocean cruise before, and you've looked to the world of river cruising thinking, maybe there's just not enough to do on board for me like there is on my ocean ships. Well, folks, that is why the Ama Magna was built. She has 4 restaurants on board, all of which are included. Rooftop heated pool, hot tub, multiple lounges, including a private movie theater, so multiple entertainment going on. And folks, we only added another 40 passengers, so 196 guests. And that's only slightly bigger than some of the 4-star river cruise lines out there that carry 182 passengers. And that is because the size of the suites are something unheard of for a river cruise experience. They actually start at 355 square feet and go up to 710 square feet. So folks, if you've ever thought there's just not enough to do on board, I welcome you to try out the Ama Magna. Now, speaking of our river cruise ships and some unique features, we developed this signature twin balcony suite. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there's always something to see day or night on the rivers of Europe. And we want to be able to bring that beautiful balcony experience over to the world of river cruising because it never really existed before. So the picture in the top middle, you see the couple able to stand outside and enjoy all of the lovely views. But what happens when the weather's not so nice? Maybe it's a bit cooler, maybe it's raining outside. That's where we have the matching mirrored indoor balcony, as you can see in the picture in the top left corner. Table, 2 chairs, full French balcony design doors, so no matter what the weather, no matter what the temperature, you're always able to enjoy that beautiful balcony experience. Now, on all of our ships, we've got 3 levels of accommodation. You've got the picture window staterooms, the French balcony suites right up to the signature twin balcony suites. And every cabin has the iMac entertainment system, movies, music, TV, whatever you want to watch. And you have full access to the internet. Now, Wi-Fi is complimentary throughout your entire cruise, no matter what device you decide to bring. But folks, you don't have to bring your laptops if you don't wish to do so, because the iMac entertainment system can act as your own personal computer. Now, of course, speaking of entertainment, you've got the main lounge. That's the main hub of activity. This is where the cruise managers give his or her port talks each and every night. This is where our local entertainment happens every evening that we are sailing, something locally themed to the area. And after they are done, we've got our onboard musician to play music into the later hours as well. But if you're looking for a quieter area to relax, we've got a choice of different lounges on board. You've got the library lounge, a bit of a smaller area, a fireplace, some books to read. On the opposite side is our 24-hour cafe and lounge, coffee, tea, espresso available whenever you would like. And we serve tapas complimentary throughout the entire day in each and every one of our lounges for you to enjoy as well. Now, speaking of food, this is an area we truly do shine. The picture in the top left, that's a shot of our main dining room. And it has 170 seats in there, but we've got 156 guests on board. What that means, it's open seating. Come and dine whenever, wherever you like. Tables of 2, 4, 6, or 8 for you to enjoy. Now, I know it's not very often that you hear some companies or anybody saying something positive has come out of COVID. Well, folks, that actually happens to be the case. Now, we were actually the only river cruise line to actually sail throughout the entire COVID period, obviously with enhanced health and safety protocols, including no buffets being allowed on board any cruise line. Well, folks, we've been doing a la carte meal service for all breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we decided we really like the elevated dining experience. So that is actually going to stay. There'll be no more buffets for breakfast or lunch on board our ship. So we're very excited about that. And in addition to the main dining room, you've got these private wine rooms to the left and to the right-hand side of the main dining room. Seat about 6 or 8 guests, and it's just a bit more of a quiet, more intimate place for you to dine. And we've got the chef's table at the back of the ship. Totally different menu than what you're going to find in the main restaurant. Seats about 28 guests. It's a bit of an interactive culinary experience. As you can see, the chefs are right there to create the meal right in front of you. Now, we make sure everybody gets a chance to dine in here at least once during their journey because we won't take a second reservation from guests until everybody else has made their first reservation. And if any of you out there listening tonight are true food connoisseurs, you'll probably be very familiar with these organizations. Table aux Berges and Chaîne du Rôdisseur. These are the two oldest and most renowned gastronomic societies in the world. And they are based on a restaurant's food, wine, and service. And folks, we are the only river cruise line to have ever received either of these designations. And of course, if you have any sort of healthy options, vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free, just let your team at Expedia Cruises downtown Toronto know. They'll make sure that we are aware, and the chefs will create an equally impressive array of meals with your specific dietary needs in mind. Some of the onboard services we have, of course, if you are the kind of cruiser who likes to get a massage or get your hair done, there are those services available on board. We have a fitness center on every single one of our ships, and we are the only river cruise line to have a full-time wellness host on every single one of our ships, offering complimentary classes for you to enjoy should you wish to do so. These could be anything from a yoga class to a stretching class to a guided hiking experience off the ships as well. We have about 20 or 25 bikes free of charge for you to take on any port of call should you wish to do so, and we have guided cycling tours on every single one of our cruises as well. But I will say the most popular area of recreation happens to be the rooftop heated pools we have on each and every one of our ships. Now, a couple of questions I get asked about the pool, like when is it open? Folks, it's open 24/7, and it is open our entire season from March right up through till the end of December when we do my absolute favorite river cruise experience, the Christmas markets programs. Now, yes, we do tend to turn the temperature up a bit more in November and December, but folks, I always like to encourage my fellow Canadian travelers, if you are going to go over and take advantage of one of these great Christmas markets cruises, please bring your swimwear. Go up and enjoy the pool during your cruise because, folks, it's the perfect opportunity for you to meet your fellow Canadian travelers because we're the only ones using the pool at that time. Now, another great thing about river cruising, if you've never done this before, you're going to notice there's people up there enjoying a cocktail. There's even a bartender up there. Well, folks, the cruise manager might tell you about an amazing vintage of wine or a special liqueur that's only available in the next port of call. Folks, you can purchase that, bring it back on board, enjoy it wherever you like, including the lounge, including up at the pool. You'll even find glassware, corkscrews, ice buckets, all of those kinds of things in your cabin. So again, very different to your ocean cruising experiences. We want you to be able to cruise exactly how you would like to do so. Now, some of the onboard and onshore enhancements we've made over the years, sip and sail. Let's talk about drinks on board. Folks, drinks are always included with all of your meals, unlimited beer, wine, and soft drinks. But what we were finding is that guests would go off on their included sightseeing tour. And yes, every single day, there's a guided sightseeing tour included. And in the larger cities and towns, you have a choice, up to about 4 or 5 different choices, all of which are included to allow you to customize your touring excursions. Now, we put no more than 15 guests per tour guide, and we use the AudioVox system. So it's, again, great way to ensure social distancing. But folks, these guests would come back on board in the middle to late part of the afternoon, and they'd go down to their cabins, start getting ready for the cruise manager's port talk, which of course happens each and every night just before dinner. And that's when about 80% of guests were purchasing a drink from the bar. So in 2018, we decided to include these as well. It's called Sip and Sail, but essentially it's a happy hour, folks. It's unlimited beverages, whether these are alcoholic or non-alcoholic, leading right up until dinner time begins. But I will say my favorite enhancement came in 2019, and that was the development of the AmaCruise app. And this is a great app designed for you to use both before, during, and after your river cruise experience. Now, beforehand, it'll have all sorts of great information on the cruise you're going to be taking, on the ship you'll be sailing on. Your documents can be found within this app as well. But my favorite part of this app has to be the photo taking capability that happens while you are on board. Now, I will assume each and every one of you listening tonight has taken a guided tour at some stage in your life. That means you've listened to a tour guide take you around an area, tell you all about those beautiful sights that you're seeing. They tell you all about the history, and you take picture upon picture upon picture to remember all of these beautiful sights. And you get back home after your 1 or your 2 week vacation, and you start looking back through your hundreds and hundreds of pictures, and you look back through some of these going, I have absolutely no idea what that is, let alone why I took a picture of this place. Well, folks, if you take all of your pictures now through the My AmaCruise app, all of the notes that the tour guide gave you on that day can automatically be linked to the pictures you took that day. Forms into your own digital photo album for you to look at for years and years and remember every part of your AmaWaterways River Cruise experience. And with one simple click, it's uploaded to your favorite social media site, whether that's Facebook or Instagram. Now, folks, this is just a map of all the different rivers that we cruise on around the world. All the rivers in Europe, of course, you've got some exotic destinations. And I'm going to go through a brief overview of some of the cruises that you're going to see. But of course, if there's a river that interests you, this is where we encourage you, please go in and see the team at Expedia Cruises downtown Toronto. Either stop in and see them, give them a shout, and they can go through a lot more detail of these various cruises. But I will start with the Danube. The Danube is probably the most popular choice for first-time river cruises, and you'll find experiences from 7 up to 14 nights. They're all listed there. Those are all the different cruises that we have, including some of those great Christmas markets cruises that I talked to you about. And I like to say the Danube takes in the best of the West and the best of the East, because it starts with the Upper Danube cruises, focusing on the great countries of Western Europe, and then you sail down to the Lower Danube, where you've got these incredible countries in Eastern Europe. And it's no surprise that our most popular river cruise on the Danube happens to be the 14-night Grand Danube, taking you from Vilshofen, Germany, all the way down to Bucharest, Romania. So again, it's kind of the best of the West and the best of the East in one incredible 2-week journey. But I do like to show these maps just to show the kind of the breadth of all of the different kinds of tours that are included each and every day. So you're going to see these little symbols. You'll see the little purple grapes. That means there's winery tours that you could actually choose from on that day that are all included. You'll see the little bike symbols. That means there's guided cycling tours on that day. Or the little green hikers. That means there's guided hiking tours included that day. So you can really do whatever you want, from a relaxed paced tour right up to a more active tour. It also means that our average age of guests is a lot bigger than you might expect for a river cruise line. Our average age of guests goes from people in their 30s all the way up to people in their 80s, because you've got all of these different kinds of activities that are all included, allowing you to do exactly what you would like to see and do, and then, of course, enjoy the beauty of the river cruise experience. But I want to highlight a few new itineraries and experiences we have coming out either this year or next year, including a classical music-themed cruise on the Danube. And, of course, we've got some new land packages because, yes, unfortunately, the rivers don't go everywhere that we would like to be able to take you. So we have land packages that you can actually do before or after your luxury river cruise experience. And the different thing about our land packages is these are fully escorted by our cruise manager. So if you've just done a Danube cruise and you're going over to Prague afterwards, it's going to be the exact same cruise manager that is with you to escort you around Prague. So it's a really incredible way of having a fully escorted land and river package. But some new land packages we're actually adding in 2023 go off to the incredible city of Krakow, Poland, and the beautiful city of Salzburg, Austria. And a new river cruise, I've already said it's my favorite, the Christmas Markets Cruises. We're adding a new Christmas and Winter Markets cruise on the Lower Danube in 2023 between Budapest and Bucharest. So very excited about that as well. And folks, these are just some of the highlights that you'd see on the Lower or the Upper Danube, including the natural rock monoliths, which actually border between Serbia and Romania. So we cruise through this during the day. Budapest is always a highlight. In fact, I like to say it's the most beautiful city by night in Europe. That's a shot of the Parliament buildings in behind. And of course, Vienna is always a great highlight on an Upper Danube cruise. We're always in Vienna, either for a late night or an overnight experience. And then, of course, Salzburg, home to Mozart, home to the Sound of Music, and always a very popular choice for excursion on that day. And then there's Vilshofen, Germany. And you're probably thinking, I've never heard of Vilshofen, Germany. And folks, unless you've cruised with us, you really shouldn't have. But this is our home port. It's actually about an hour and 15 minutes away from Munich Airport. So very easy to fly in or out as our port city. But we decided to make Vilshofen a bit special. Now, you might know that there's a world-famous festival that happens in the Bavarian part of Germany every year. It's been going on for hundreds of years, and that's known as Oktoberfest. And we wanted to be able to bring you that authentic Oktoberfest experience. So we overnight on every cruise in Vilshofen, and we set up an authentic Oktoberfest tent right at the end of our pier. You go off, you get to enjoy a true Oktoberfest experience with the locals coming in, playing all the music for you. And yes, just like at Oktoberfest, when the mayor of Munich kicks that off, the mayor of Vilshofen comes out for every single one of our performances as well to say hello to all of you. So it's a very special way to either start or end your river cruise experience. And of course, the Christmas markets. They are on all different rivers, including the Danube. So again, incredible experiences that you can have. Now move over to the Rhine. This is a very popular river cruise as well, taking you from Amsterdam down to the Swiss port city of Basel. 7 up to 12 night experiences, and you can see the whole list down there. Some that are focused on just the Netherlands and Belgium. You've got the other ones cruising through the Rhine, and of course, the very famous Christmas markets experience is as well. And just like over on the Danube, you've got all those different choices of excursions that are all included. Beautiful winery tours, guided cycling experiences, guided hiking tours. So again, you get to see the Rhine exactly how you would like to see and do. And some new itineraries and experiences that started last year and carrying on with this year and next year includes the best of Holland and Belgium. Now, we've always done a tulip time river cruise experience focused on that famous season in the springtime, but guests said, why don't you cruise up here past the start of May? These are stunning countries. So we agreed. Launched this last year, and it's been very, very popular because we're able to go to some areas in the Netherlands and Belgium that we don't go to on the Tulip Time River Cruise, including Castle de Haar that you see here, one of the most beautiful castles in all of Europe. And we are the exclusive partners with Ancestry. It's a genealogy company. If you've ever wanted to explore your European roots and heritage, this is a great way of doing it. We'll actually have a special cruise happening at the end of July on the Rhine to be a pro genealogist on board, and you actually virtually meet with them before you get on board. They go through your whole history. They present you with your full ancestry package on board, and you even get a customized tour off to where your family is from on this Rhine River Cruise. So that's a very special sailing we've got going at the end of July. And of course, some of the highlights on a Rhine River Cruise, folks, you always get to overnight in Amsterdam. Beautiful city by day, stunning city by the evening. It's a 7-minute walk from our ship right to the heart of Old Amsterdam. And of course, a few things that we do during the day. The Mosel River is considered one of the most beautiful rivers in all of Europe, as you can see here. So yes, we will cruise this during the day for you to enjoy. And of course, the Rhine Gorge, always extremely popular. There's 21 medieval castles which have been around for centuries. Now, before you pick up the phones or go in to see the team at Expedia Cruises downtown asking, which side of the ship should I be on to see all of these beautiful castles? Folks, 11 of them are on the port side, 10 of them are on the starboard side. So it really does not matter. But if you are cruising with friends, I always say get a balcony suite across one another. That way you can just pop over to the other one's balcony because, yes, you can see these castles coming down. That is just how narrow the rivers are. And of course, you stop in a whole range of small, cute little cities, towns, and villages. And one of my favorite has to be Rudesheim. It's in the heart of the Wachau Valley, a very, very popular wine region. And you've got a number of different tours that you can do, including a gondola ride up and over the vineyards. And when you get off the gondolier at the bottom, there's a year-round Christmas store, which I've never yet managed to not go in and buy a Christmas souvenir from this area. And of course, the Christmas markets exist over on the Rhine River. Again, all sorts of different ones. And let me tell you, every single city and town's Christmas market is unique to that city or town. This is why I've done the Rhine, I've done the Danube, I've done a few different ones because they are all very different. So it allows you to keep going back and seeing new experiences. Now I'm going to move over to France and Portugal. And yes, I know that France and Portugal are part of Europe, but these rivers, unlike the ones that we've just been talking about, are not interconnected. So these are all standalone rivers. And we've got 2 ships on each of these rivers with the exception of the Bordeaux where we have 1 ship. So you've got the Seine River in the northwestern part of France, very historical area. You've got the gastronomic region of France going through the heart on the Rhone and the Saône. And of course, the wine country down in the southwestern quadrant of France known as the Bordeaux. And World UNESCO listed heritage site, the Douro River in the northern part of Portugal. So 7-night cruises on each of these rivers. But yes, if you wanted to actually do a 14-night experience and see the Seine and the Rhone and Saône, or maybe the Rhone and Saône and the Portugal, they all start and end on the same day. So it's very easy to cruise and then transfer over to the next cruise going off on there as well. So you can combine it and make it into a bit of a longer experience. And again, that same great map showing all of the different symbols, all the different kinds of shore excursions that are included, from guided winery tours, guided hiking tours, right over to guided cycling experiences as well. And yes, just like with the Danube and the Rhine, there's some new itineraries and experiences happening over in France and Portugal, including one that I was very excited to go on last year. It debuted. It's Winter Cruises on the Rhone, so bringing that Christmas spirit over to the heart of France. Now, it's not really a markets cruise, but it's really a chance to see the French Christmas spirit, and it is absolutely incredible in this region. And we're adding a new extension package into the French Riviera, starting in 2023, 3 nights in Nice, staying in with tours over to the Côte d'Azur and over to Monaco as well. And of course, highlights into this area, you always get an opportunity to see France, either before, in between, or after your river cruise experience. Avignon is the old capital of France that you'll see on the Rhone and Saône river cruises. Bordeaux, incredible city, lit up like a Christmas tree. So yes, we actually do a nighttime cruise on the rivers of the Bordeaux, so you get a chance to see this from the rivers. And yes, if you go up to the Seine, like I said, a very historical river, and one of the tours does include a stop over into the Normandy beaches with the opportunity to go over to the Juno Beach Center, very important to Canadian history. And of course, over on to the Douro River, where you will start in Lisbon, 3-night package in the capital of Portugal. We then transfer you up to our home port city. It's known as Porto. Beautiful little fishing village with lots of incredible housing and traditional structures on the river. And it's a 7-night river cruise, either one way to Vega de Tron or a round trip to Porto. And if you do the one way, of course, you'll end up in the medieval Spanish city of Salamanca and have an opportunity to go over to the capital of Spain, over into Madrid. Now, a few other products I want to highlight, of course, Celebration of Wine River Cruises. We are the only company doing wine river cruise programs, and it was developed by this lady named Liz Barrett. Her idea was to bring a North American wine host on to a couple of these cruises, have them bring their wine so you can compare the new world wines to the old world wines of the region you are traveling through. You get some additional tastings, a wine hosted dinner, you get some extra excursions, which are included, awesome chateaus and wineries, and really get a chance to see how wine relates to the history of Europe. Now, folks, we had no idea what the response would be to these wine river cruises when we started them in 2009 with just 2 of them. But this year we're operating 64 wine river cruises. So it's become a very popular program. And folks, you don't have to be a true wine connoisseur in order to enjoy these. All I know about wine is one is red, one is white. I drink beer, folks. But to tell you a bit more about how these incredible wine cruises work, I'm going to let Liz tell you about this great program that we have.
Paired with some of the wonderful wines that the host has actually brought on board. He'll be explaining it to you, guiding you through it. Since we have a wine host on board from North America, you get a comprehensive education and experience into the entire global world of wine. We look so forward to having you join us on one of our Celebration Wine Cruises this fall.
So that, folks, is just a little bit more about our wine river cruises. And the last experience I want to leave you with for Europe before I stretch out into our exotics program is the 7 River Journey. Now, this is an incredible product that was, again, kind of suggested to us by our past guests. They said, listen, I often take these beautiful world cruises. These are things from 30 nights all the way up to 180 nights on those beautiful boutique ocean ships. And they said, why don't you guys have a world cruise on the rivers kind of thing? We're like, never thought about that. So we launched that very program just this past year. It'll debut in 2023. And I'm going to let you actually let our owner tell you just a bit more about this very unique program. And then I will tell you exactly where it actually goes.
Seven River Journey, your story through Europe, coming soon.
So that beautiful experience, folks, this little map, again, it's actually going to be on 7 different rivers, 14 countries, 46 nights. Now, we had no idea what the response to this would be. We brought out 1 departure for June of 2023, and within 4 days of us launching this, it was actually 96% sold out. So what does any good company do? We brought out 2 more departures. So a spring, summer, and a fall sailing. But the great thing is that all 3 sailings are slightly different, focusing a little more time in other parts of the country. So all very unique experiences. So if that's a true bucket list way of seeing the rivers of Europe, again, go see the team at downtown Toronto with Expedia Cruises, and they can guide you through that experience. But folks, we can combine any of our river cruises. We know that guests are wanting to travel for longer periods of time right now because, of course, most of us have not been able to travel for the last couple of years. And as a result, you could actually go for 14, 21, 28 nights on the rivers. Just because you don't see the combination does not mean it doesn't exist. And if you take combination, and these do not have to be done back to back, you'll get additional savings as well, in addition to whatever the early booking offers are on them. Finally, I want to take you through our Exotic Rivers collection. These are very unique experiences, taking you to some incredible parts of the world, really to experience the countries, the food, the culture, the religion, all of these different things. And we are bringing you the best river cruising product into these areas. So we'll start with the Mekong. We're the very first North American river cruise line to ever have our own ship on the Mekong. It's a great program which takes you from southern Vietnam up to Cambodia. And folks, always add the northern Vietnam extension because these are all 3 very different cultural experiences. Like I said, you get a chance to experience the transportation, some of the foods, some of the various unique religions down into this area. It happens on the Amadara, a bit of a different looking ship, has 120 guests, but it has all the same great features that you saw in the video. Just looks a little different because we don't have the same low bridges or locks to go through down here. Next one is our Wildlife River Cruise experience. And this is, again, unique to AmaWaterways. If you've ever wanted to go to Africa, it's always a bucket list trip, and you always want to see the wildlife. Now, there's never a guarantee if you take a land safari that you'll actually see the wildlife. But on a Chobe River Cruise, we can actually guarantee that, folks, because the Chobe River is the only watering hole between Namibia and Botswana, meaning all of the animals have to come to the river every single day to bathe, to feed. Now, it's a 7-night program on the Chobe combined with Victoria Falls, and you can extend the experience. It either goes to South Africa, see Kruger National Park, Rovos Rail, or up to East Africa into Kenya and Tanzania. And with all of our programs, you can also add the Rwanda Gorillas package. Now, this is a much smaller, more intimate river cruising experience on the Zambezi Queen. There's only 28 guests, 14 balcony suites. So river cruising does tend to book a lot earlier than ocean cruising, generally about 9 to 12 months in advance. But you can only imagine with a ship this size, it books much earlier, generally 18 to 24 months in advance. So please keep that in mind if this product is of interest to you. And finally, we made our debut on the stunning Nile River last year in Egypt, over in September. Incredible destination with lots of great sights to see. It's a 7-night round trip experience from Luxor with 3 nights beforehand in Cairo and a night at the end. You can also do pre or post extensions, with the pre packages being into Jordan or Dubai and the post package being off to Israel. Now, again, it's a chance to experience the incredible cultures that are into this area, and it is on the beautiful Amadalia with only 72 guests on this beautiful ship. Now, normally, that is where my exotics talk would end, but last year we announced we're going to be the very first river cruise line to ever have our own ship on the Magdalena River in Colombia. And again, this is going to very much be a wildlife river cruise experience because there's some very unique wildlife that you can only see on the Magdalena River. It will be a 7-night experience in and out of Bogota with extensions over to the Amazon and the Galapagos, debuting either late 23 or early 2024. So if that is of interest, again, go and see the team and they can give you more information as it becomes available. Now, of course, folks, we are partnered with Expedia Cruises because this is Legendary Rivers happening for the month of May. It officially kicks off today. And like I said, we are very excited to be the exclusive partner for Legendary Rivers for the first week of the promotion. Now, Expedia Cruises is a very close partner. We actually have amenity programs both for this year and for next year. They've got about 50 different departure dates where they are able to offer you $300 onboard credit in addition to whatever the early booking offer is. Now, this $300 is in euros, and it really does make sure that everything is taken care of on your river cruise. So that is the great advantage. But like I said, this week, officially starting today, there is some special offers for 75 different departures happening this year. And now that there's no longer any testing requirements, I can tell you for Canadians, the phones have been ringing off the walls with our Canadian advisors for the past couple of weeks. So we thought we'd bring an incredible offer. 20% off any of these 75 river cruises plus a free category upgrade. And yes, it is combinable with the Expedia amenities program. So you get a triple savings in order to take advantage of. So again, go in and see the team. It's on all of these different rivers that you see here. You've got the Rhine, you've got the Danube, you've got the French river cruises, you've even got some Mekong programs in there as well. So again, great offer, but it's only available to be booked this week. So do take advantage of that great promotion with them. There's a little promotion, like I said, that's out. They've got the whole list of all different cruises. So don't hold back, go off and see them this week in order to book that great promotion. Now, folks, if you might already be booked for 2022, not a problem, of course. Great early booking offers available for you in 2023. Savings of up to about $1,800 Canadian. Remember, that's combinable with the Expedia amenity program, so great opportunities. And let me tell you, we're already 42% sold out for 2023. So never think it's too early because with a river cruise, you might have a date or a cabin type in mind, and if you wait too long, it will probably be gone. So great opportunities for you. And of course, if you happen to be a past AmaWaterways guest, there is a privilege rewards program for you to take advantage of where you will again get additional savings. But folks, if you are wanting to travel, now there's a great promotion, like I said, that great Legendary Rivers promotion that is linked to 2022. But if you are looking for 2023, in addition to whatever the early booking offers are, I want to offer you an additional $200 off per couple. And again, that is as long as you book while the Legendary Rivers promotion is going on. So again, please take advantage of that. If you want to book a river cruise with the team at downtown Toronto for this year and for next year, I'm sure they're also not going to say no to that as well. So finally, folks, we know that travel right now is a personal choice, and we want to make sure that you're able to take advantage of all of these incredible offers, but yet have full peace of mind when you're choosing your travel experience. So we have a policy called Travel Waiver Plus. If you add this on, it basically allows you to change your mind for absolutely any reason on your sailing this year up until 24 hours prior to your departure. So again, just ask the team. They can tell you a bit more about that program as well. But folks, that is my presentation for you for the evening. I'm going to pop back on camera here. Like I said, if you have any questions, please just type them into the little chat box that you're seeing in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, and we can go and answer any of those now. But if you come up with questions afterwards, again, please just get in touch with the team at Expedia Cruises Downtown Toronto. They would love to hear from you. And of course, they can answer any questions. And I guarantee you, if they don't know the answer, they all know how to get a hold of me 24/7, that I could always be around to answer their questions as well. So I will have a look to see if any questions are coming in. But Joel, if you have anything else you'd like to say, fire away while I check out the questions. So
All right. Thank you so very much, Neil. That was quite a compelling presentation. I have been on a river cruise before, back on in the Yangtze River. I think it was 2016. and it was great, and I enjoyed it. But I got to tell you, I am so anticipating getting on one of these European river cruise, and in particular with AmaWaterways, because I think it is such a rich and true value. So I don't have any questions per se, but Neil, as I was going through, I made a couple of notes down, and I just wanted to maybe just throw that out there. I mean, you talk about the various rivers in Europe and the various experiences that you have, the different countries. Each country seems to have a different vibe to it, if I can use that term. I remember going to Europe back maybe 10 or so years ago and experiencing, the border, one country moving over to the other, and the experience was so different. Tell me a little bit about that. Have you seen a lot of that in your experience as you go down the rivers in these areas?
Well, it's great because, of course, there's seamless travel over in Europe from one country to the next, but they're all still distinct countries. So it's great when you're waking up the next day in a whole different country and a whole different vibrant culture and experience in there. So that is the great thing. Of course, when people go to Europe, nobody usually goes to Europe just to see one place. They often want to see multiple countries. So river cruising is truly the best way to take you to multiple countries on one incredible journey. So
fantastic. Yeah, I love that.
All right, well, I don't have any questions that have come in, so I guess we were very thorough in the presentation.
Indeed.
Folks, if there's anybody listening tonight who didn't get a chance, maybe their friends, family want to listen, like Joel said at the beginning, it is being recorded. I'm going to send a copy of this off to Joel tomorrow, so he can very easily send that out for any of you to watch as well. So,
all right, well, thanks you so much. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. Neil, I don't know if you have any closing words, but certainly enjoy the time and the experiences that you've brought, and looking forward to anyone that has or wanted to hear a little bit more. We're open to have those discussions with you. Please give us a call and have us talk you through or walk you through the experiences or whatever it is that you'd like to do. We'd be happy to help you do that.
Perfect. Well, thanks very much, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening. So good to see you, Joel. Good to see you, Michelle.
Thanks. Have a good evening.
Thanks, Neil.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.